Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis, and this is a follow-up update. Of course, after today price action that we saw, we were expecting of course a lower price to reach around the 90,000 and the 89,000. This was our target, first target to be touched, and it has been of course touched, and we saw some kind of a reversal to the upside. Now, after this, we would like, of course, to figure out, did we finish, of course, this trend toward the downside, this correction, as probably a B, and a C. Now, as we can see, this after this price action, we did not see any kind of continuation toward the downside, meaning that this leg that we got exactly here, and due to the volume that we see here, it tells us that this is the wave 5 of that impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, where you have your wave 3 with the highest amount of volume and your wave 5 following, of course, high amount of volume but lower than, of course, the wave 3. And this is exactly what it gives us here, a first finish scenario, which it might be a zigzag. This scenario might have finished, of course, by reaching not 1-to-1 fib level, but a little bit less, which is a 0.618, which is also an uncommon target for a wave C in a zigzag. So this possible scenario is possibly finished, and possibly, of course, it can still moving toward the downside, but unfortunately, it is a very, I would say, very, very low possibility, because this impulse has finished. This wave C in a zigzag do not have really chances anymore to create something else, unless of course a contracting diagonal, but this contracting diagonal looks very, very far from a possibility to happen, right? Your wave 1 can be very, very extended. Now, another scenario that it can be still as a bearish, of course, after having A, B, and a C. And because this is one impulse and we got an impulse here as well, it might be a contracting a diagonal still, of course, in impulses, meaning impulse down, correction, impulse down again, and correction, and of course one more impulse toward the downside. Now, as you can see, the wave 3 of this 1, 2, 3 diagonal, it has reached the perfect targets, as you can see, for a wave 3 in a diagonal. As we can see, between the 0.786 and the 0.886, we got the wave 3, of course, in between them here, very perfectly finished and moving toward the upside. Now, in case that is the scenario, because we have like perfect fib levels finished here and then a retracement, and of course the double impulse that we see in the 1 and the 3 waves here, possibly that your wave 4 comes back to those fib levels between the 0.38 and 0.5 for 95,000 and 97,000. Now, of course, this one should be it can be, of course, a zigzag, or even it can be an impulse. And that because when you have impulses as diagonal, it is very possible that even the corrective waves can get to an impulse, but very rare case scenario. But yeah, when we have impulses for the 1, 3, and 5, yeah, one of these correction can be impulsive, and one of them can be complex structure, as we see for the wave 2. Of course, this is based on Elliott wave theory. Now, as we can see here, we have already kind of like 3 waves toward the upside. If we take a look at the 15-minute chart, it is really hard to count if this is an impulse to or just 3 waves. But on the 5-minute chart, we can see that, yeah, this looks like a little bit more like 3 waves toward the upside, right? ABC, ABC again, and then probably here several 1, 2s and 3, 4, 5, maybe a little bit more higher. And to reach, of course, at least the 0.23 fib level. Go back to the 1-hour chart, at least the 0.23 fib level, of course, at 94,100. This is the first uncommon target for a wave 4 in case in a diagonal. And of course, if we want to reach higher, the perfect fibs has been already given with these prices. So it can be even a longer, of course, wave 4 here. It can be, of course, after finishing this one and continue, of course, for higher prices correctively in 3 waves. And then, of course, moving again towards the downside impulsively for a wave 5. Of course, we need the wave 4 to be topped until we get, of course, the perfect fib level for a wave 5. And in that case scenario, we might still also, see one more wave toward the downside as a contracting diagonal still playing as a bearish, short-term bearish scenario. And then, of course, getting the low here, maybe a little bit lower, 87 maybe. That would be maybe a perfect target because it can be as well a target for a wave C in a zigzag. In that way, of course, then you get a perfect, yeah, let's say 2-in-1, right? So, and then of course moving to the upside, and we know that this 87,000 is a very, very critical technical support, right? And even on the channels, if you remember in the deep analysis this weekend, we said that the channels here that we have, the acceleration channels and the base point channel, the base channel would like to hit, of course, the price would like to hit these channels, yeah, and yeah, they are very close to hit it, and hitting it around the 87 would be ideal, I would say. And then, of course, continuation toward the upside after bottoming here a wave 4, and then of course continue for higher prices in case we are still bullish. So yeah, the scenarios right now, the possibilities are still 50-50 between bullish and bearish. And that because if we have finished a zigzag here, this is the only possible way now that we have finished, of course, a correction is a zigzag or WXY, but it is clearly a zigzag because we have 2 impulses. And then we start to see some formation toward the upside. Now breaking those fib levels, breaking the 97,000, I would say, of course, we are looking for 120K directly. Yeah. So yeah, we need, of course, a little bit more price action here, more signals. Now the first signal that we got here is 3 waves. It looks like corrective and not impulsive, knowing that we are looking at higher prices. However, this is not looking really an impulse. Yeah, it might be an A, B, C, another zigzag, right? So yeah, basically I would say let's wait and see what's gonna be the reaction around this area. If we pass it, therefore of course high possibility goes for the bulls, and if we retrace down, of course higher possibility still goes for short term towards the 87K. On the KGT, we can see as well that we have, sure, on the 3 minutes we have a buy signal here, but yeah, that is a lack of a divergence. So I'm gonna take the 5 minute here for more information. As you can see, we have a buy signal, but there is no diversion yet between the price action and the bull signals. So even if we get weaker signals here that we can get, there is no divergence. That is, both are toward the downside. While of course your bearish signals are convergence, right, with the price action. As you can see, we have a sell signal from the top here, and of course we might get a new one here, which it might still be conversion toward the downside. So the soon that we get this a strong, of course we get it as a weak right now, weak signal on the 167, but as soon as we get it for the 500 somewhere here, and of course if the price action still, of course, lower than this high, therefore of course the conversions will still existing, meaning of course lower prices. So yeah, that was it for Bitcoin updates. So basically, as to recap just the things and make it much clearer, we are still, of course, in between the bullish and bearish scenario. We are not yet clear for a 100% bullish scenario toward the upside. Of course, this area will tell us much more information if we are going back or if we are continuing towards the upside. And of course, we're saying here we are targeting 119K, of course. And while if we move down, we are targeting 87K. That was it for Bitcoin. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye bye.